Hey, it's Kelly Alexander on The Kelly Alexander Show, joined by Detective Dante Falconeri, a.k.a. Mr. Dom Zamprogna. Welcome to The Kelly Alexander Show.
Thank you for having me on The Kelly Alexander Show.
So you are Canadian, and you are doing so well on General Hospital.
Thank you.
How does it feel like, being this Canadian boy, killing it on like one of the #1 soaps in the States?
Yeah, it's cool. I as a Canadian actor, you grew up wanting to establish yourself south of the border because it kind of brings a little more legitimacy to your efforts. Not for any reason other than I think they have a different system in the States than they do in Canada. I still love coming back to Canada doing work and stuff like that because it's home. But I just feel like it's a goal I set and I achieved it, and now I'm setting a few more goals and hope to achieve those as well. You've
been on the show for a while now. I think 2009 is when you first started, if I've done my research correctly. What does it feel like being on, General Hospital? It's been on the air for over 50 years. Does it feel like responsibility, especially because so many of the other soaps in the last 5 years have tanked and gone off the air?
Yeah, I don't. The show, it's cool. I mean, when I started, there were 8 soaps, and it kind of was just a given that soaps were going to be around. And then the kind of acts started to fall on these shows, and we thought we were going to be one of them. For a brief moment, we thought we were going to go, but I don't know. Like I overheard Will talking to you about our cast, and I've always felt we've had a really strong cast. I didn't watch a lot of the other shows. I focused on our show heavily when I got the role, and I was really impressed at how great everyone was, unbeknownst to me. You know what I mean? Like you kind of soap acting kind of has a weird, almost bad rap. You know?
Yes.
And I don't actually know where it comes from. Once you become a part of it, you realize how good the talent is. And that's not to say there wasn't good talent on the other shows. I think there was just luck of the draw, or bad luck of the draw for them. But I also think it's kind of the state of things. Like, nothing's a given anymore. You know what I mean? And you really have to be on your best and have your A game, from the writing, producing, down to the acting, to get the fans' attention and to keep their loyalty. You know what I mean? Especially when there's competition in the amount of shows. But I feel like, having said that, I think there's going to always be a need for soaps. Just like there's a need for comedies and romantic comedies and serious movies and documentaries. It's a medium and a genre that needs to be fulfilled. You just don't need 20 of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How does it feel like, because I know a bunch of actors have sort of swapped roles in a way, like Maura West is now with you guys. She was on Young and the Restless for a while, and I know before that she was on East Coast soaps. And you had Michelle Stafford come over as well for a while. Is it great to have these other actors come in and maybe freshen things up a bit, or did you ever feel sort of competitive? Because I know you're into hockey, so it's almost like you've had a Montreal Canadian come over to the Leafs for a bit,
No, I didn't. I didn't feel that way at all. Like I felt like I've just seen a show for Schitt's Creek. That show's apparently amazing.
Apparently, it's true.
I haven't seen it. My sister was telling me how great it is. See, that's exciting about Canadian TV doing some really cool things. I'm really happy about that. No, never once did I feel that way. I felt like we had an all-star team. When they came over. I felt like we just got stronger, and they weren't taking anybody's jobs away. It's not like they came over and someone else had to leave or something like that. We just got stronger, and I feel like that's kind of what you want. You want to be like, as a Leafs fan, you want to be more like the Habs,
right? And
get better players instead of just keep people in the seats and keep providing a crappy team on the ice. And not that we had a crappy team in General Hospital, but if you're going to do the hockey analysis, I just felt like, we're trying to become like a powerhouse. What does it feel like to be a heartthrob? Because you are, and everyone knows that you are.
Well, and I didn't know that. Well, you are. And do you guys feel a pressure? Like, we've been able to speak to Jason and to Will, and you guys have to stay in great shape because that's part of it. Even though you guys are actors, you guys got to take the shirts off. What does it ever get old? Like, do you feel like, oh my God, I just want to eat pudding today, but I got to go to the gym?
To tell you the truth, I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I have very low willpower for food. I have 2 kids and another on the way, and I feel like that's my get out of jail free pass because they don't expect much more from me. When I first started the show, I didn't have kids. I had my shirt off every day and I was prepared for it. And now I feel like they're kind of having mercy on me a little bit. I don't have to do it as often as Will and Jason. because they know my deal. they know I don't get to the gym as often as these guys.
When you're on set, what's a typical day like for you? Like, what time do you have to get there in the morning? And
that depends. Sometimes 7 o'clock. Sometimes sometimes 10 o'clock. You could be in there at 7, be done by 10. You could be in there at 7 and be done by 7, 8 p.m.
Okay.
You could be in there at noon and be done at 7 or 8 p.m. It varies based on the day and how much you have. How much material you have for that day, and every day is different. It's a great job for that reason because you can be a dad and not be gone for 15 hours every day.
Do you think you're going to stay on the show for a while? I know you've already been on for a while. You are a key character. I was telling Jason that I recently spoke with Sharon Case, who just spent 21 years. It'll be her 21st anniversary on Young and the Restless, and she sounds like she's still having a great time and sounds like she wants to be there for a while. Do you feel like you want to be on GH, for the next while as well?
I do. I have no plans to leave. We're in the business partner and I. We're in the process of producing a film, and that would be the only thing that would take me away from GH. Would be other projects, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like other goals that I'd set, like I mentioned earlier. I'd like to do GH as long as they want to have me and write for me and that kind of stuff. You want good story.
Yep.
You want things that test you and that get to your heart and force you to be not to sound cliche, but it's all like it's fun to get out there and do as honest work as you possibly can. And as long as they're writing stuff like that, I'd be happy to be there. And but I'm also happy to get on to other things. And if you can do both, great. If one has to mean you can't do another, and whichever one that is, then you have to make that decision, I guess, when the time comes.
Now, before I let you go, I know obviously you have an amazing character. You obviously love playing your character. If you could be any other character on GH right now, who would it be?
I've always said Sonny because he's such a badass, and
true.
I'm such a good guy right now. But, actually, I'd probably say the Jason character now because that dude's got like 4 chicks on his arm. Like they're all fighting for him. I'm like, what are you doing? How do you do that? How do I get that kind of attention?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dom, you're so sweet. Thank you for spending time with us
Thanks
on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Dom, right here from General Hospital on the Kelly Alexander Show.